you filed for bankruptcy for the third time. Is that correct?
I got the idea from Donald Trump. Final answer.
Okay.
Final answer.
Why did you actually file?
Final answer, because Donald Trump filed. Final answer.
Okay, you don't want to talk about it. All good.
Donald Trump filed 50 times. Ain't nobody asked him damn time why he filed.
So you talked about having lupus before. Now you talked about how you stopped taking, the prescription drugs, and for the last 20, 25 years, you've just been self-medicating.
I feel better. When I'm high, I feel better. I have no addictions. I don't use crack. I don't use heroin, no opioids. But I feel I'm self-medicated and I feel wonderful.
Now, in your music, do you actually talk about doing drugs as well?
Have I ever talked about doing drugs before?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it in your interviews, but you actually talk about it in your music as well, doing drugs?
Oh, I've talked about it plenty of times. I have one song called Ruby Red, where it say, I've been getting high since back in junior high. The problems I had back then, I still got them now. But I got it worse though, because I always got a sore throat and my eyes stay red and my clothes smell like weed smoke. Man, I think my kids know. Man, I hope my kids don't use or try some of the shit me and my parents did. I need to detox. I probably need God in my life. That's why my heart ain't been beating right. And I need to relax. I need to get out and run about 3 laps and sit back and relax. No more of that, bruh. Where that clean at? I need to clean up my acts. Man, I really need, it's called Ruby Red, and the hook was like, early in the morning with him feeling blow. And it's talking about drinking coffee and say, my girl smoking weed and blow. 3 lines of coke that I cut with. You see what I'm saying?
So when you look at like artists like Future, who got songs like, when they talk about Molly Percocet, they talk about doing drugs. And it seems like these days in hip hop, it's more acceptable to be doing drugs than actually selling drugs. Now,
one thing I can say, Future is the most intelligent rapper that I've ever seen that actually talk about drugs, because people rap Molly Percocet, kids rap it and still don't know what it is. So that's not a bad thing. He know how to trick them into liking it.
Okay, but it's not just Future.
Now I heard the one on the radio, I got baking soda. I'm like, oh shit, they play that on the radio? I'm like, I gotta drop me one like this. But
I mean, as someone that's talked about doing drugs and records, when you see these records coming out, and you talk about, the new generation does a lot more pills than we used to do, and the effect that it has on children. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Everything ain't for everybody, that's for sure.
Okay.
Everything is not for everybody, that's for sure. And like I say, these are explicit rap lyrics are for grown people, adults. With that being said, it's up to the parent to monitor, like we was talking about TV. It's up to them to monitor what they listen to. Is when we were little, if we had cell phones, our parents would grab our cell phone and go in it whenever they want to. Am I right or wrong?
Yep.
Don't lock no doors in the house. Don't keep going in and out the house. You had school clothes and play clothes. You had a favorite cartoon, a favorite actor, a favorite teacher, and mama was always right. These kids slam their doors. They mad at their mama. Come home when they want to. Call their mama and tell her I'm at my friend's house. No, you ask your mama, could you go to your friend's house in that area? So the problem is the people that are having these kids, they're qualified enough to be parents. That's one thing, because that makes it definitely unfair for the child. Other than that, they have to monitor what they say and do around their kids. The harder you make for your kids to do wrong, the less chance they will have doing it. You have to make it hard for them.
I mean, as someone that's really concentrated on their lyrics their entire career, like you could tell that you don't just go into the booth and just freestyle and go on to the next song. It seems like you really
I sit there, I think about what I'm gonna say, and from how I start my records, you would know. On I probably have about 8 tones of voice that I use. I use less words when I want to, if I want something really I really want to emphasize something and put feelings in it, I take certain words off so I could drag words like nigga. And so I would take the words out before that. And yes, to me, freestyling is just rhyming. Freestyling has no meaning. It can't help me, has no beginning, don't know where to end, don't know what street to turn down. When I take you, you could take one of my songs and take out the hook or the chorus and push it together, and you have a straight line.
I mean, when you look at where hip hop is heading, and you look at more mumble rap, when it's not really focused on lyrics, it's just really, focused on more vibes.
All that does is ensure me that I made the cut. The cut in which I made the deadline of forever music. A lot of these mumble rappers, it's over for their ass next year. So a lot of them won't make it throughout this year. A lot of them wouldn't travel past 5 counties, north or south of where they live or where they grow up at. So I appreciate mumble rappers. Y'all keep it up. You make me the last of the dying breed.